Hey guys, it's Jade from Bedtime Bookworm and welcome back to my channel. Today is the start of a readathon vlog. This is actually going to be a double readathon vlog. So today is Saturday, July 20th, and the Reading Rush, which is the readathon previously known as Booktubeathon, starts on Monday, the 22nd. I've actually never participated in Booktubeathon before, but I got really excited seeing so many people posting their TBRs and such, and I decided that I wanted to participate this year. You might be wondering, if Booktubeathon / the Reading Rush doesn't start till Monday, why am I starting my vlog today? Well, today and tomorrow is the July edition of the 24in48 Readathon, which is a readathon that I've participated in before. For that readathon, the goal is to read for 24 hours within the 48-hour time period. And this time, I realistically know that I'm not going to be able to read for 24 hours, but because the 24in48 is happening the weekend before the Reading Rush starts, I decided I wanted to participate because I'm currently in the middle of 3 books, none of which I want to read during the Reading Rush. So I'm going to use the 24in48 to try and finish 2 of the 3 books that I'm currently reading. One of the books, I know there's no way I'd be able to finish it, so that's not even a goal. But I do want to try to have an hourly goal. I have some things going on this weekend, so I know that there's no way I'm going to hit 24 hours. But I'm going to try to read for 12 hours between the 2 days. So like half of what the 24in48 is supposed to be. It is late on Saturday. It is almost 6 o'clock. I'm just now sitting down to open this vlog because this is the first time that I've been dressed all day today. So I have already been reading today. Haven't been doing great. So far today, I've read for 2 hours and 43 minutes. So if I want to keep on track for my 12-hour goal over the weekend, I need to read for a little over 3 hours today, and I'm not sure that's going to happen because in about 15-20 minutes, I'm going to be leaving the house to go to a musical with my family. We're going to be seeing Hello Dolly tonight, which I've never seen. I'm not familiar with it at all, but I'm excited about it. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be having dinner with my family because next week is my mom's birthday, so we're going to be celebrating that tomorrow. So with those 2 events going on, I knew that I wouldn't be able to read for 24 hours, but I'm hoping I can still make it to 12. Okay, let me move on to the books that I'm reading. So the book that I've mostly been reading today is this, Recursion by Blake Crouch. I was really excited about this book, but also kind of nervous because it hasn't been getting super great reviews. I feel like it's been getting medium reviews, and I even saw somebody DNF it, so I was really nervous, but honestly, I'm really enjoying this. I was probably about 50% through this before the weekend started, and I read a big chunk today. I only have 50 pages left. This is definitely getting finished, but probably tomorrow. The other book that I want to finish by the end of tomorrow is Kill Creek by Cameron Roubique. I'm reading this for the Bloody Beach Readalong. It's one of the July books. And I already read in this book for about an hour today, and it's my current ebook. And I am currently 75% through it. So I'm pretty hopeful that I'm going to be able to finish that one tomorrow too. So those 2 books I want to finish before the weekend is over. I feel good about that goal. I think I'm going to make it. And then whatever reading time I have left over, I'm going to be reading The Blinding Knife by Brent Weeks. I am about 30% through that book. So that's a book that I know that there's no way I can finish tomorrow. But I'm just going to get as far in it as I can before the Reading Rush starts because I'm planning on not picking it up at all during the Reading Rush because it doesn't really fit any of the prompts, and I've already started it. So I want to only start new books during the Reading Rush. So those are my reading plans until the end of the 24in48, the end of Sunday. I'm not going to go over my Reading Rush TBR now. And on Monday, I will check back in with you guys and let you know how I did on my goals for this readathon, and then I'll tell you about my goals for the Reading Rush in that check-in. All right, bye guys. Hey guys, So it is Monday evening. It's about 9 o'clock at night. It has been a long day and I haven't done hardly any reading today. I did read a little bit earlier, but after work I had to run the dogs over to the vet because they were due for some shots. And then when I got back, I had dinner and watched Big Brother with Justin. You guys probably don't know this, but I am a huge Big Brother fan. I watch it every summer and I have for years. It's something that I always look forward to. And I love the show, but it is such a time suck because it comes on 3 times a week. And it's gonna be a little bit hard this week trying to balance that and reading for the Reading Rush. Before I tell you about my TBR for the Reading Rush, let's talk about how I did for the 24 in 48 Readathon. I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that I met my primary goal of finishing up 2 of my current books that I was reading. So I finished reading Kill River by Cameron Roubique. I ended up giving this 3 stars. There were things about it that I thought were fun, but also there were things about it that I didn't love. I think it's a book that if you're not taking too seriously, it can be fun to read. But I'm not sure if I enjoyed it enough that I want to read the sequel to. So I was reading this one because it's one of the group reads for the Bloody Beach Readalong, but the sequel to this book is one of the group reads for next month. And honestly, I felt pretty lukewarm about this one, and I don't think I'm invested enough in the main characters to want to continue on and read the next one. And then the other book that I was hoping to finish before the end of the weekend was Recursion by Blake Crouch. And I was successful in this, and I also finished this. This book I really, really loved. I was definitely nervous going into it, and I went in trying to have like lower expectations because I loved dark matter so much when I read it last year. And so I didn't want to be constantly comparing the 2. I'm not going to say a whole lot about this because, one, I don't want this video to be a million hours long, but I am going to talk about it in my wrap-up, and I think I'm going to do a book review for it too. But the short answer on my thoughts on this is that I agree with people that it wasn't really as good as Dark Matter, but there was still a lot of really good stuff in here. I think it explores a lot of the same themes, but some different ones too, and I really appreciated the themes that this explores. Up until like the very end, I was thinking like I had 50 pages left, and I was telling someone that I was sure that this was a solid 4-star read, but like a high 4-star read. But then those last 50 pages, they got me emotional. I teared up a little bit. Justin walked by while I was reading it and was like, "I'm sorry, your book is sad, babe," because he could tell that I was like upset by something. And I really liked the way that it ended. It has a solid ending. So after I finished it, I was really unsure if I wanted to give it 4 stars or 5. I just wasn't sure if it was quite 5-star status or not, but I slept on it and I honestly couldn't stop thinking about this book. So this morning I decided to give it 5 stars. I think this is a favorite for the year. For me, Dark Matter was a 5-star, no half stars in there. This is probably 4.5, but rounds up to 5. Like, it's up there, but just not quite as good as Dark Matter. I could say a lot more about this, and I will, just in other videos. So my primary goal for the 24 in 48 was to finish those 2 books. Check, I did that. My secondary goal was to try and read for 12 hours. Well, I didn't have a lot of time to read on Saturday, and then on Sunday, by the time I had finished those 2 books, I'd only gotten to 5.5 hours of reading. I definitely had thought it was going to take more than 5.5 hours just to finish those books. But my original plan was to, after I finished those books, just to read as much as I could in The Blinding Knife by Brent Weeks. But honestly, when it came down to it, I just wasn't really motivated to read further in that book, knowing that I was going to have to stop. I kind of wanted to save my reading stamina for the reading rush during the week, and I knew that I wasn't going to make it to my 12-hour goal. And so I decided just to give up on my time goal, and I stopped reading. So what I did instead was I played Witcher 3. If you watched my 4th of July reading vlog, you know that I started playing again during that week, and I have not stopped. And honestly, this is going to be the biggest challenge for me this week because I've been playing the Witcher game at least every other day, sometimes every day, like on the weekends, since July 4th. And so I'm going to have like withdrawals from not playing it this week. So that was also part of the reason why I wanted to play yesterday. I kind of wanted to like get my fill, and hopefully that'll hold me over for the rest of this week. Okay, moving on to the reading rush. These are the books that I have planned. for my audiobook, and I have it in physical form because I have to, is Gemina by Amie Kaufman and Kristoff. If you haven't heard of this, this is a YA science fiction, and it's the second one in the series. The first one is Illuminae. And I wanted to listen to this on audio because I hear the audiobooks for these are really good. They have multiple narrators, like full cast narrators, but I also had to have the physical copy because this is told through like a really interesting format. There's like pictures and, let's see if I can kind of show it. There's like pictures and like different files and chat logs and things like that, and like that's how the story's told. So I knew that I wanted to have the physical copy. So my plan is mostly to listen and like flip through the pages as I listen. So this one should be a pretty quick read. At least I hope so. I guess I didn't say, but I have 4 books that I'm planning on reading, and they should fulfill 5 prompts. I'm not even trying for the other 2. And so this book is going to fulfill the non-human main character prompt. The other prompt that this one fulfills is a book that I meant to read last year, because I started this series when the first book came out, and I meant to read this last year and probably the year before too. So I'm finally getting to this. Another one of the prompts is purple on the cover. And the book that I originally wanted to read for this one, I had requested from the library, but I still don't have it. I don't think I'm going to get it in time. So I had to re-look around my TBR, and I came up with Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. And I know what you're thinking, that this cover is green, but I had an aha moment because I saw a video from Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, and she held up her copy of this book, and it's the Owl Crate copy. And you know what? The Owl Crate copy is purple. So I'm totally counting it. This is gonna be my book for purple on the cover. The audiobook for this is also on Scribd, so hopefully I can double up on those things and that'll help me read this faster. And then one of the prompts is read a debut. So I'm gonna read Wilder Girls, which is a book that I have really been looking forward to reading, and this is the perfect excuse for me to read it. I did get this as an ARC or an advanced reader copy when I went to the North Texas Teen Book Festival, but I've been dying to read it ever since, and now the book is out. It came out at the beginning of the month, and I can't believe I've been dragging my feet on this. I really want to read this. So many people have been loving this book, and I know it has like horror elements in it, and I'm so excited about it. And then the last prompt that I'm shooting for is read a book in the same spot, which honestly I could do with any of these because I do most of my reading in bed, but also when I'm reading in bed, I like to read on my Kindle every night, and I don't have any of these books in ebook format. So I have another option, and that is the second Bloody Beach read-along book for July, which is I Call Upon Thee by Ania Ahlborn. Although now that I think about it, I wasn't actually able to get this in Kindle format, at least not without having to pay for it, and I don't think I'm going to pay for it because I can get it on Scribd, but that means I have to read from my phone, which I don't love doing, but it's a short book and I could totally read from my phone from my bed only. So that's what I'm doing for that prompt. All right, that is my Reading Rush TBR. I'm really happy with the books that I picked out for the prompts because I really wanted to limit my TBR to the books that were already on my summer TBR. I didn't want to pull from anything that was outside of it, and I didn't. All of these were already on my summer TBR. So it's awesome that doing the Reading Rush is helping me get all of these books read. Honestly, I'm going to be really surprised if I get all 4 of them read, but I'm definitely going to try. Like I said, the hardest part is going to be avoiding playing Witcher, and there is a small chance that I might reward myself with a little bit of Witcher if I finish, like, I don't know, maybe 2 of these books, like the halfway mark. Then I can reward myself with Witcher. We'll see how that goes. Alright guys, that was a long check-in. I will check in with you again once I've made some progress on this TBR. Hey guys, so it has been a hot minute since I recorded a clip, at least a talking clip. I've tried really hard to take lots of clips of every time that I read, but I definitely missed a few too. So it is Friday, I was gonna say morning, but it's 12:30 p.m., so it's Friday afternoon. I took today off of work. I'm going to a concert later tonight. I'm going to be seeing Third Eye Blind and Jimmy Eat World, and I'm super excited about it, and I just wanted to take the whole day off just because, so that I wouldn't have to like rush before the concert, but also so I would have more time to read. Also, I'm sorry there's like a weird glare on this lens. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know that a few months ago I was having issues with my eyes. I'm still sort of having those issues. They're being treated, and part of the treatment is the reason why this lens looks so weird. I have something on this lens called a prism, and it does weird things with lights, and sorry if that's distracting. We're doing a car clip right now because I am sitting in front of my library. There was a hold that became available. I'm here to pick up a book that I had originally put on hold so that I could read it during the Readathon, and that's I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I had planned to read that book for a book with purple on the cover and a book with 5 words in the title. But then I didn't think it was going to come in time. It technically did come in time. I got the notification on Monday that it was going to be ready to be picked up, but by then I'd already changed my TBR and decided to read Sorcery of Thorns. I was really excited about reading Sorcery of Thorns, so I decided to go ahead and read that book anyways, and put I'll Give You the Sun as like my last book on my TBR, like the lowest priority, because I don't have another book that fits the 5-word title challenge. At this point, I don't think I'm going to get to it, and I don't think I'm going to try to get to it, because if I finish everything that I'm planning on finishing, I'll have read 4 books this week. Granted, one would be Gemina, which is like a non-traditional format, so like a faster read, and one would be a shorter book that's like 250 pages. But still, 4 books in a week is a lot, and I don't feel like pushing myself to read a whole nother book at the end of the readathon. Okay, so let me update you on my progress so far. It honestly doesn't feel like that much. I finished 1 book, and that was Gemina by Kristoff and Amie Kaufman, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was so fun and thrilling. I don't know why, but people don't really talk about this book as being like a sci-fi thriller, but it kind of felt like a thriller. I mean, yeah, it was a thriller, and it even had some like horror elements, which I should have expected based on the first book, but like I didn't really put 2 and 2 together, because when I read the first book, I wasn't really reading a lot of horror, so I didn't really think about it that way. I did both the physical book and the audiobook for Gemina, which I highly recommend doing the combo. Yes, the audiobook is fantastic because it has a full cast of narrators, but there's so much like visual stuff in the book too that I really enjoy doing both of them, and if I was to try and recommend one or the other, it would be really hard. Probably I would recommend the audiobook if you had to pick one, but I really recommend doing both if you can. I thought that was going to be like a 4-star book, like I thought it was going to be fun, but I ended up loving it and I gave it 5 stars. So that's the only book that I've finished, but I'm over halfway through I Call Upon Thee by Ania Ahlborn, which is my shorter horror book. It's like 250-ish pages, and I'm almost done with Sorcery of Thorns. I've got 3 hours left on the audiobook, and guys, I know that there's a lot of hype for that book. I always feel bad when I love a book that is already really hyped, which I shouldn't, because I should just be happy that it lived up to the hype for me, but I just worry that like adding to the hype will lead to disappointment for other people. But this book is like a perfect Jade book. I love it so much, and I'm already pretty certain it's going to be a 5-star read. So 2 5-star reads during the readathon is amazing. And I still have Wilder Girls, which is the last book that I want to read for the readathon. I'm going to finish Sorcery of Thorns today, and that leaves me like 2 days to read Wilder Girls, which is on the shorter side. So like I'm pretty confident that I'm going to finish all 4 of these books, and I have never finished 4 books in a week. Like I'm totally shocked. And actually, I even took last night easy on the reading. I reached the 1,000 total page mark for the readathon so far. Granted, like I said, Gemina is a lot of pages with like not as much text on it, so that kind of like inflates my numbers a little bit. But I passed the 1,000-page mark, and Thursday is like the middle of the readathon. So I decided to reward myself with a night of Witcher. So I read after I got off of work until like 9 p.m. and then at 9, I started playing Witcher, and I was up till 2 a.m. playing because I could not stop. Even though it only been like since Sunday since I had played, I missed it so much. And now I feel like refreshed and ready to dive back into reading. I mean, I already have. I've been reading almost all day today. I woke up at like 10. I even read for a little bit outside on my porch, although I only lasted like 15 minutes because it kind of started getting hot. But I had coffee on my porch with a book, which is just like an amazing way to start the day. I've been reading all day since. I am so happy with how this readathon has been going. Like I said, I've never read 4 books in a week, and it feels very doable right now. I'm really glad I took part of last night to play Witcher so that I could take a break from reading and feel refreshed and keep my stamina up, because reading this much is definitely not easy. Anyways, that is like my mid-readathon update, and I will probably just check in with you on Sunday when I've finished everything that I'm going to finish. But for now, I need to go into the library and pick up I'll Give You the Sun by Jenny Nelson. I'm also going to be turning in Gemina since I just finished it, and Recursion, which I finished over the weekend, as you guys know. Alright, so I will check in with you guys on Sunday. Bye. Hey guys, it's Jade. So today is actually Tuesday. The readathon ended a couple days ago on Sunday night, but I was reading up until the very last minute on Sunday, so that's why I didn't update you on Sunday. And then honestly, yesterday I was just exhausted from the readathon and didn't have the energy to do a wrap up. So here I am to end this vlog and let you know how I did over the last couple days of the readathon. So last time I checked in with you guys was early on Saturday, and at that point I was almost done with Sorcery of Thorns, and I'm happy to say that I finished Sorcery of Thorns before I went to my concert that night. I'm just gonna hold up the book because it's so pretty, although it's kind of glary because it's a library copy. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Like I kind of was saying in that last clip, I was loving everything about this book, and I love the way it ended. This is not quite my favorite book of the year so far. It doesn't quite beat out Priority of the Orange Tree, but this is just such a Jade book. Like, it's the exact type of YA that I love to read, and I know that it's not gonna be everybody else's favorite book, so definitely don't go into this thinking it's like the next best thing, because I'm sure a lot of people will think it's nothing special, but there's just so much about this that I loved. I love the writing style, I love the characters, and I just really loved the plot and the story and the way that it ended, and it gave me the warm fuzzies, and I will read anything that Margaret Rogerson puts out. She has made it into my favorite author list. So I finished this on Friday before the concert, and then for Saturday and Sunday I had all of Wilder Girls to read, as well as about half of I Call Upon Thee. And honestly, on Saturday I didn't get a lot of reading done. I was recovering from the concert because after the concert my friends and I hung out, and I stayed up really late, and I slept in on Saturday, and I just was not in a reading mood on Saturday. I did read some, but not a lot. So I had to make up for it on Sunday. I read a bunch in the beginning of the day, and then I took a really long break and played Witcher for like 4 hours, and then I got back to reading, and I was reading up until 11:30 to finish the last book. So I was able to finish Wilder Girls. This book, the cover is so pretty, but some of you might have already seen, I gave this book 2 stars. I really struggled with this. I had such high hopes for it based on the synopsis and other people who have really enjoyed this, and I should have known better than to have such high hopes for a debut book that from like an author that I've never read before. And I did try to keep that in mind, but I was so dang excited for this, and I was left very disappointed. The first thing that I struggled with was the writing style. It's a very like, I don't know, edgy writing style, and it just didn't really work for me. But then the second half of the book I thought was a lot more interesting until the ending. I really hated the ending in this book, and I'm honestly surprised that it's gotten such good reviews. Not that it doesn't deserve good reviews. I think that it's going to be a polarizing book. I think some people are really going to like this, and I think that some people are really not going to like this. But so far, I've only seen really positive reviews, or pretty much. So I think that as more people read this, it's going to be really polarizing. I don't want to say too much more than that, because I'm going to be talking about it in my wrap-up, and because this is a new release, and it's been really hyped, I think I might do a standalone review for it as well. And I think that about Sorcery of Thorns also, because it's like a newer release, I might do a standalone review for that. I don't know, I really struggle with making standalone reviews, but I'm gonna try. But anyways, I was really sad to give this 2 out of 5 stars. I really wanted to like this, and I was pretty disappointed. And then lastly, I was able to finish I Call Upon Thee by Ania Ahlborn before the night was over, and that one was good. I gave it 4 stars. I kind of waffled a little bit on the rating of that because I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I think it might be like a lower 4-star or like an upper 3-star that I round up to 4. But it's a haunted house story with a Ouija board and a creepy kid, and it was short and it was fun. So those are my updates for the reading rush. I ended with a total of 1,736 pages read, which is insane. But like I said, Gemina is a lot of pages with not a lot of text, so that kind of like inflates my numbers, but I'm not going to complain about that. I finished 4 books, which is also insane. I've never read 4 books in a week, and I also didn't spend every single second of the week reading. I definitely took it easy a couple of the days, which makes me think that I could have fit I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson in if I had really tried, but honestly guys, by Saturday, Sunday, my reading stamina was like not there. So I'm glad that I didn't push myself to try and fit that one in. And last night on Monday, I had like 0 desire to read. So that's one downside to doing readathons like this, is that at least for me, when I try to stuff a lot of reading into a short amount of time, then it's really easy to get a little bit burnt out. But that's okay. It was fun to do. I loved watching so many people's daily vlogs. That's something that I don't think I could ever do. Oh, and also, you probably noticed, but I didn't participate in like the video challenges or the Instagram challenges. The reading challenges are challenging enough for me. I didn't feel the need to try and do any of those things, but I loved watching and seeing people do those challenges. As far as the badges, I got 9 badges. One is the 2019 reader one that I get just for participating. Read a book with purple on the cover was Sorcery of Thorns. Read a book in the same spot the whole time was I Call Upon Thee by Ania Ahlborn. I read that in bed. Read a 5-star book. I had 2 5-star books, Sorcery of Thorns and Gemina. Book you meant to read last year was Gemina. Read a book with a non-human main character. Again was Gemina. I had initially picked this one out because of Aiden. He's an AI that is a main character in the first book. And after reading Gemina, I was a little bit hesitant about counting this one because Aiden is in the book, but he's not a big part of the book, but I decided to do it anyways. Read an author's first book was Wilder Girls by Rory Powers. Read over 1,000 pages, definitely did that by midweek. And make a reading rush booktube video. That's what this is right now. I haven't posted it yet, but I'm still counting it. So yeah, I earned 9 badges. I didn't hit all of the challenges, but I'm totally fine with what I was able to do. Anyways, that was my reading rush. I had so much fun participating in this for the very first time, and hopefully I can make it an annual tradition. If you guys have read any of these books or want to read any of these books, let me know in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope you had a good reading rush. If you did participate, let me know in the comment section how you did. Did you meet your goals? How many books did you read? If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content. That is all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye.